What if everything you've been taught about becoming wealthy is only part of the story? From the time we're young, we're told that if we study hard, get a good job, work long hours, save a little money, and avoid mistakes, everything will eventually fall into place. Yet, all around us, we see people who followed those rules and still struggle financially. At the same time, others seem to build extraordinary wealth without working the longest hours or earning the biggest salaries. Why does this happen? Is money really about intelligence? Is it about luck? Is it about talent? Or is there something much deeper at work? Something invisible that quietly shapes every financial decision we make. Imagine discovering that the biggest obstacle between you and financial freedom isn't your income, your education, or even the economy. Imagine realizing that the real battle is happening inside your own mind every single day. Welcome to the truth about wealth. Stay with me until the very end, because the lessons you're about to hear could permanently change the way you think about money, success, risk, and the future you're building. Most people believe wealth begins in a bank account. In reality, wealth begins with a decision. Long before someone becomes financially successful, they develop a way of thinking that separates temporary pleasure from lasting value. Money itself is simply a tool. It doesn't create wisdom, discipline, or patience. Instead, it magnifies whatever qualities already exist. Place money in the hands of someone who lacks self-control, and it often disappears as quickly as it arrived. Place the same amount in the hands of someone who thinks long-term, and that money begins working instead of sitting still. This is why two people earning the same income can end up living completely different lives. One spends every raise before it arrives. The other quietly builds a future one decision at a time. One of the greatest misconceptions about wealth is that it is created through dramatic moments. We imagine successful people making one brilliant investment, launching one perfect business, or discovering one incredible opportunity that changes everything overnight. But lasting wealth rarely grows that way. More often, it is the result of ordinary choices repeated consistently over many years. Choosing to spend less than you earn. Choosing to learn before taking financial risks. Choosing patience over impulse. Choosing consistency over excitement. These decisions don't feel life-changing in a single day, but over decades they quietly reshape an entire future. Wealth is rarely built by spectacular actions alone. It is built by habits that seem almost too small to matter until time multiplies their effects. Think of planting a tiny seed in a quiet corner of a garden. On the first day, nothing appears to happen. A week later, the soil still looks unchanged. A month passes, and it seems as though your effort accomplished nothing. Someone watching might even laugh and say the seed was a waste of time. But beneath the surface, life is already unfolding. Roots are spreading, drawing strength from places invisible to the eye. Eventually, a small shoot breaks through the soil. Years later, that tiny seed has become a tree capable of producing fruit season after season. Money often behaves in the same way. The earliest stages of building wealth are usually the least exciting. Progress feels slow. Results seem invisible. Many people quit because they mistake slow growth for no growth. Those who remain patient eventually discover that time is one of the most powerful forces in finance. Another truth that surprises many people is that wealth and income are not the same thing. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep, protect, and allow to grow. A person with an impressive salary can still live under constant financial pressure if every dollar is immediately spent. Another person earning far less may quietly build lasting security because they consistently save, invest, and avoid unnecessary debt. Wealth is often invisible. It isn't always reflected in expensive cars, luxury watches, or enormous homes. Sometimes true wealth looks surprisingly ordinary. It is the quiet confidence of knowing that unexpected challenges won't destroy your future. It is the freedom to make decisions based on values rather than desperation. It is the ability to choose opportunity instead of being trapped by necessity. The world constantly encourages comparison. Every advertisement, every social media post, and every display of luxury quietly suggests that success should be visible. Bigger houses, newer cars, expensive vacations, and designer brands become symbols that many people chase without ever asking whether those symbols actually improve their lives. The problem is that appearances can be purchased with borrowed money just as easily as with earned wealth. Looking rich and becoming wealthy are often two completely different goals. One demands constant spending. The other rewards thoughtful restraint. Many people sacrifice tomorrow's freedom to impress strangers today. The cost of that decision is rarely visible until years have passed. Fear also plays a surprisingly large role in financial decisions. Some people fear taking any risk at all, leaving every opportunity untouched because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. Others fear missing out, rushing into investments they don't understand simply because everyone else appears to be making money. Both extremes can become expensive. The wisest financial decisions are rarely driven by panic or excitement. They are guided by careful thinking, patience, and a clear understanding of long-term goals. Markets rise and fall. Economies change. Headlines create optimism one week and fear the next. But emotional reactions often become the greatest enemy of consistent financial progress. Perhaps the most valuable investment you'll ever make isn't in stocks, businesses, or real estate. It is in your own ability to think clearly. Knowledge compounds just as money does. Every book you read, every skill you develop, every lesson you learn improves your ability to recognize opportunities and avoid costly mistakes. Unlike possessions that lose value over time, wisdom often becomes more valuable with experience. The person who continuously learns gains an advantage that cannot easily be taken away. As you begin this journey through the truth about wealth, remember one simple idea. Building wealth is not about chasing quick victories. It is about becoming the kind of person who makes wise decisions consistently, even when nobody is watching. Your financial future will not be determined by a single paycheck, one lucky break, or one perfect investment. It will be shaped by the habits you practice, the mindset you develop, and the patience you show when progress feels slow. Because in the end, the greatest wealth is not measured only by the money you accumulate. It is measured by the freedom, peace of mind, and opportunities that wise decisions create over a lifetime. The longer you study money, the more you realize that numbers alone never tell the whole story. Two people can receive the exact same financial advice and experience completely different outcomes. One patiently follows a simple plan for decades and gradually builds lasting security. The other jumps from one opportunity to the next, constantly searching for shortcuts, and ends up frustrated despite moments of temporary success. The difference is rarely found in spreadsheets or investment charts. It is found in behavior. Wealth is not simply a mathematical equation. It is the result of thousands of decisions made when no one else is watching. Every purchase, every investment, every temptation resisted, and every dollar intentionally saved becomes another vote for the future you are creating. The truth about wealth reminds us that every dollar has a purpose long before it is ever spent. Most people see money only as something to exchange for goods and experiences. But money is much more than that. Every dollar represents time, energy, and choices. Think about the hours you worked to earn it, the skills you developed, and the sacrifices you made along the way. When you spend money carelessly, you're not simply giving away paper or numbers on a screen. You're giving away a portion of your life. This realization doesn't mean you should never enjoy what you've earned. It simply encourages you to spend with intention. The goal is not to spend less for the sake of spending less. The goal is to ensure that every dollar moves you closer to the life you truly want, rather than further away from it. One of the most dangerous financial habits is confusing temporary emotion with permanent truth. Imagine checking the weather during a storm and deciding it will rain forever. It sounds unreasonable, yet many people treat financial markets exactly that way. During difficult times, they convince themselves that recovery will never come. During prosperous times, they believe good fortune will continue indefinitely. History tells a different story. Economies expand and contract. Industries evolve. New opportunities replace old ones. The people who build lasting wealth understand that emotions often change much faster than reality. Instead of reacting to every headline, they focus on principles that remain valuable year after year. Patience, discipline, diversification, and continuous learning. Another lesson that quietly transforms financial lives is understanding the difference between price and value. Price is what something costs today. Value is what it contributes over time. A low-priced purchase can become incredibly expensive if it constantly needs replacing. An expensive investment in education, health, or valuable skills may produce benefits for decades. The wealthiest thinkers rarely ask, "How much does this cost?" Their first question is, "What value will this create over the long run?" That single shift in thinking changes almost every financial decision. Instead of chasing bargains that don't improve life, they look for opportunities that continue paying dividends long after the purchase is forgotten. There is also an important relationship between freedom and simplicity. Many people assume wealth means filling life with more possessions, more commitments, and more complexity. Yet truly financially secure people often discover the opposite. They simplify. They avoid unnecessary debt. They resist buying things simply to impress others. They recognize that every possession requires attention, maintenance, and responsibility. The fewer unnecessary burdens they carry, the more freedom they enjoy. Real wealth is not measured by how much you own. It is often measured by how much control you have over your time, your decisions, and your future. As your understanding grows, you'll begin noticing another powerful truth. Financial success is rarely built through perfection. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone experiences losses. Every investor has made poor decisions. Every entrepreneur has faced setbacks. What separates long-term winners is not that they avoid every mistake. It's that they survive their mistakes, learn from them, and continue moving forward without allowing one bad decision to define the rest of their journey. Resilience is one of the most valuable financial assets a person can possess, because opportunities always belong to those who remain in the game. Another principle that deserves attention is the importance of delayed gratification. Modern life encourages instant rewards. With a few taps, almost anything can be purchased immediately. But lasting wealth often grows from the ability to postpone today's pleasure for tomorrow's opportunity. This doesn't mean living without joy or refusing every luxury. It means understanding that some of the most meaningful rewards require patience. The ability to wait, to prepare, and to think beyond the present moment creates possibilities that impulsive decisions often destroy. Every time you choose the future over immediate temptation, you're strengthening one of the most valuable habits a financially successful person can develop. Eventually, you begin to understand that wealth is not a destination where all problems disappear. Money can solve many practical challenges, but it cannot replace purpose, character, meaningful relationships, or peace of mind. Those qualities must be developed alongside financial success. When wealth becomes a tool to support your values rather than define your identity, it becomes far more rewarding. It allows you to help others, create opportunities, pursue meaningful work, and face life's uncertainties with greater confidence. As this journey continues, remember that your financial future is being shaped long before extraordinary opportunities appear. It is being shaped by today's habits, today's mindset, and today's decisions. Every thoughtful choice becomes another brick in the foundation of your future. Over time, those small, consistent actions become something remarkable. They become the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your life is no longer being controlled by impulse or fear, but by wisdom, patience, and a clear vision of what true wealth really means. One of the most overlooked principles of financial success is learning to separate luck from skill. Imagine two people who both make money from the same investment. One carefully studied the opportunity, understood the risks, diversified wisely, and invested with patience. The other acted on a rumor, ignored the risks, and happened to profit because the timing worked in their favor. From the outside, both appear equally successful, but their futures are very different. Luck can produce a good result once. Skill increases the chance of good results over and over again. The truth about wealth reminds us that judging decisions only by their outcomes can be dangerously misleading. Sometimes a wise decision leads to a disappointing result because life is unpredictable. Sometimes a reckless decision produces temporary success. The goal is not to chase lucky outcomes. The goal is to develop habits that continue serving you regardless of what happens next. The world often celebrates dramatic success stories while quietly ignoring the years of preparation that made them possible. We hear about businesses that became overnight sensations, investors who earned remarkable returns, or entrepreneurs who transformed entire industries. What we rarely hear about are the countless evenings spent learning, the failed attempts that taught valuable lessons, and the discipline required to keep improving when nobody believed in the vision. Financial success, like mastery in any field, usually grows beneath the surface long before it becomes visible. The people who appear to move quickly have often spent years building the foundation that others never noticed. Another lesson that changes the way you think about money is understanding the true meaning of enough. Many people spend their entire lives chasing a moving target. Every increase in income creates a desire for a larger lifestyle. A bigger home leads to higher expenses. A more expensive car creates larger payments. Luxury slowly becomes normal, and satisfaction fades almost as quickly as it arrives. Without realizing it, people become trapped in a cycle where earning more no longer creates greater freedom. Instead, it creates greater obligation. Knowing what is truly enough is not about limiting your ambition. It is about protecting your peace of mind. A person who understands enough is much harder to manipulate through comparison, advertising, or social pressure. There is also remarkable power in consistency during uncertain times. When markets become unpredictable, when headlines create anxiety, and when everyone around you seems either overly optimistic or deeply fearful, your greatest advantage is remaining calm. Emotional decisions often feel urgent, but urgency is rarely the friend of good judgment. Patience allows you to evaluate opportunities with clarity instead of reacting with panic. Over the course of many years, this ability to stay steady while others are driven by emotion becomes one of the greatest competitive advantages a person can possess. The book also encourages us to think of money as a servant rather than a master. Money should support the life you want to live, not become the purpose of your life. When every decision revolves solely around earning more, it becomes easy to sacrifice health, relationships, integrity, and personal fulfillment. Yet those are often the very things that make wealth meaningful in the first place. Financial freedom is valuable because it creates choices. It gives you the ability to spend time with the people you love, pursue meaningful work, contribute to causes you believe in, and face uncertainty with greater confidence. If money becomes the destination instead of the tool, it quietly begins controlling the person who once hoped to control it. Another powerful truth is that your financial environment influences your financial habits more than you might realize. Spend enough time surrounded by people who constantly chase appearances, and unnecessary spending begins to feel normal. Spend time with people who value learning, thoughtful planning, and long-term thinking, and those habits gradually become part of your own life. Human beings naturally adapt to the expectations of the people around them. This is why choosing your influences carefully is one of the smartest financial decisions you can make. Conversations shape beliefs, beliefs shape habits, and habits eventually shape results. As your understanding grows, you'll begin seeing opportunity where others only see difficulty. Every period of uncertainty encourages many people to retreat completely. While caution has its place, history has shown that times of change often create opportunities for those who remain prepared. The key is not blind optimism or reckless risk-taking. It is staying informed, thinking independently, and making decisions based on principles rather than emotions. Wealth is rarely built by following every crowd. It is more often built by remaining disciplined when the crowd loses its discipline. Perhaps the greatest realization of all is that financial success is not measured by the size of your portfolio alone. It is measured by the quality of the life your financial choices make possible. A truly wealthy person is someone who has built not only assets, but also wisdom. Not only income, but also peace of mind. Not only security, but also generosity. Because when wealth is guided by character instead of ego, it becomes something far more valuable than money. It becomes the freedom to live intentionally, the ability to help others, and the confidence to face the future knowing that your greatest investment has never been in dollars alone. It has always been in the person you chose to become.